Hello and welcome everyone. I'm joined by a very special guest on sports today. The captain of the Zimbabwe cricket team, getting better with each and every passing year as he leads the team, preparing for a very tough assignment against world champions India. I'm joined by Sikandar Raza. Sikandar, thank you so much for taking time out and talking to us on sports today.
Thank you very much for having me, sir.
Yeah, so Sikandar, India versus Zimbabwe, a 5-match T20I series. But the only difference is, unlike the previous instances of Zimbabwe playing India, this time you're going to face World T20 champions India. Now, how will the mindset be? And Zimbabwe, what are they going to do different as compared to the last time if they want to beat India? Because last couple of series you not managed to beat them, but this time, how are you going to prepare for beating India this
time? Sir, I think, first of all, many congratulations and credit to India for winning the World Cup, and rightly and richly deserved so. But, sir, the new squad that they have sent and the new squad we have picked, I think, yes, we may not have a lot of international games compared to some of the boys that are here, and we may not have a lot of franchise tournaments, unlike some of the boys, but sir, it doesn't matter how many runs or wickets you have. When you walk out, you start on zero and with bat on ball as well. So any team that has prepared well or anything on the day who execute their plans, because they would have their plans and we'll have ours. So anybody who execute their plan better will come out victorious. And having said that, on the previous two occasions when India has visited us, yes, we did not win the series, but we have managed to beat them each time. Yep. So hopefully this time we can take one step further.
Sikandar, I've just been observing some of your statistics that's been there. You have become better as a batter, as everything, when you've become the captain. When you're not the captain, your stats were a bit low, but as captain, your stats have improved dramatically. Normally, it's the other way around. Captaincy weighs a player down. But in your case, how do you manage to buck that trend? What have you done which has ensured that, yes, I have become better with leadership as compared to the previous time?
Sir, when I'm batting out there, I just bat as a batter. I don't think myself as a captain, or when I have a ball in hand, I'm not a captain, I'm just a bowler. So I think there are a lot of the times when I do not think of me as a captain, but a bit added responsibility, as you say, when I became the captain, as you know that some of the senior guys have retired and some of the senior guys are resting and some of the senior guys are injured and out of form. So we are going through a transition. So when you have a young side, of course, and if you're a senior guy in the team, then it adds a bit more responsibility on your shoulder. So, maybe with an extra responsibility and team at heart, maybe the stars are aligning and I'm finding a bit more luck here and there. But I don't think so. I have made massive changes since I've become a leader. Few changes I have made is realizing when I need to be a leader and when I just need to be myself.
Okay, now Zimbabwe were the darlings in 2022 when you beat Pakistan. You really were at one point almost in contention to make it to the playoffs also. But this time, unfortunately, Zimbabwe didn't make it to the T20 World Cup and the other African nations jumped the queue and made it. Do you think when Zimbabwe play in the African region, barring South Africa, the other nations, do you think they are closing the gap with Zimbabwe, or do you think Zimbabwe allowed some mistakes to creep up and they got knocked out in the T20 World Cup race?
Yeah, so if you haven't played the qualifiers, people do not understand how tough qualifiers are.
Yeah.
One bad game and you're literally not going to the World Cup. Now, that is a big thing. I mean, if you look at it, West Indies couldn't qualify the last time they were here for ODI World Cup. Yes. One bad game and they were out of it. Zimbabwe, we lost to Scotland by 16, 17 runs. One bad game and you're actually out of it. So people who play qualifiers will actually understand if the amount of wins Zimbabwe had as we had in the qualifiers, if we had that in the World Cup, we would be playing semi-finals.
Correct.
But unfortunately, qualifiers are very cutthroat. So yes, I think to answer your question in two parts, yes, I do think associates are closing the gap, but not just on Zimbabwe. If you look at their performances in the World Cup as well, they are closing the gap on the test nations. So which is a great sign for world cricket. But that means there is no series. That's an easy series now.
Yeah,
but
indeed.
I think for us, we have had so many bad memories of qualifiers that every time we play qualifiers, those demons just sort of come back again.
Okay, you said that not there won't be many of the guys who won for India. I'm saying there won't be many of the guys who won the T20 World Cup. But what makes them formidable? The current bunch who are also going to play the 5-match series against Zimbabwe. What is the one factor that you think?
Sir, the one factor that's formidable is they are India. You don't play against individuals. It's not a particular individual 11 that's coming to visit us. It is India, the world champions. When you have that badge on your heart, when you wear those national jerseys, the pride, the emotions, the story, each guy has their own journeys they've come on. So many millions of people playing cricket, and these are the 15 trusted people to take cricket forward for India. Yeah. That is as good as it gets. There doesn't need to be any more motivation. So any side that's been picked or anyone who's here, that's formidable as it is, brother.
Okay, now, unfortunately, you're not there in the T20 World Cup, but you have been in the English county circuit also. So the form that is there, do you think now that, yes, this is Zimbabwe's best chance to cause an upset or two in this series? Like you said, dare to dream. I mean, maybe you can go over the line with your own form and with the other personnel that is there in Zimbabwe. Compared to the last time, you have won against them, but can you go that one step ahead this time around, especially against the world champions and with your own form?
I genuinely think we have a good chance, yes. The first game, I think, also a lot of the guys that we have in the changing room hasn't played a lot of cricket. So while I have seen them and the country backs them and the board backs them and I back them, you have to back your own ability as well when you have to perform. So this is the message I've been sending it to my boys, and I'm very sure when you see them tomorrow coming out and taking on the fight, I think it will be something to be very proud of. While the focus is on winning and losing, and rightly so, from journalism, from fans, from a lot of the point of view, there's a lot more bigger goals that we want to achieve in the changing room as well. Okay. And that is one, personal growth. That is, how did we take on the world champions? What lessons did we learn? When we beat them, what good things did we do? God forbid if we don't beat them, where we fell short, or did they go up another gear, or did we just slip up? So there's a lot of things, brother, especially when you have, out of 15 guys that we have picked, 10 of them have got single digit numbers for T20. So, brother, we're going through a transition and there's a bigger agenda. But for me, simply winning suddenly, I always think that you can have your personal growth a lot sooner and better if you're in a winning culture than in a losing culture.
Last question, Sikandar. I mean, in the T20 World Cup, what was your most favorite moment in that entire T20 World Cup for you? Apart from maybe India winning?
Or this World Cup?
Yeah, this World Cup, 2020.
I think it was how Scotland batted in that game against England. That was rained off, but they were 90-something of 10 overs for 0. Yes. So I'm a big advocate for associate cricket and so-called the lower-ranked teams. So I watch their games a lot closely than I watch some of the other big games. So I think that was one moment. I think there is one team that is punching above their waist every time, and I respect them hugely, is Holland. I mean, Netherlands always play well. So I love the fight that Dutch boys showed majority of the tournament. You're going to have a bad game here and there because don't forget, a lot of these guys do not get a lot of cricket. And when they do get a lot of cricket, their best 11 is not on the park for various reasons. Okay. So I think Dutch boys punch above their waist a lot. So I think these are the two countries I watched. Then the third game that sticks out is Nepal taking South Africa to the last ball.
Yes. One run.
So, brother, I watched these games a lot closely. So I was very proud of Nepal, how they played the whole tournament, even though they didn't cross the line, but they stretched every team to the last ball, last over. So that was good.
Okay, so there we have Sikandar Raza telling us about the India versus Zimbabwe series. All the best, Sikandar, for the coming matches, and hope that Zimbabwe can really, really cross the line and give the world champions a shock and continue inspiring Zimbabwe as always. Thank you so much, Sikandar, for your time.
Thank you very much, sir.
मैच से जुड़े आपके हर सवाल का हम देंगे जवाब। जानने के लिए हर अपडेट, लाइव एनालिसिस, स्पेशल इंटरव्यूज, डाउनलोड कीजिए स्पोर्ट्स तक ऐप।